So we're talking about different types of graphs the next couple of days, and the first one we're going to talk about is a histogram. I always get the joke, Instagram, histogram. No, it's a histogram, and it is very similar to a bar graph that you're probably familiar with. There are a couple differences that we're going to look at in just a second. But let's look at a couple of definitions first before we start looking at some pictures and some examples. So a histogram is a bar graph that shows the frequency of data values in intervals of the same size. Now you're probably like, what in the world does any of that mean? So frequency is the number of values. So just, how many people chose that thing. So for example, if your favorite color was blue, the frequency is the number of people that chose blue, okay? So what's different about a histogram is at the bottom, you have things called intervals. So for example, I'll show you. Here's an example of a histogram, all right? So here's what I'm talking about. At the bottom, you have kind of a range of numbers that you can have. So the people with the number of, these are CDs that are owned. So if you have 0 to 9 CDs, there's 4 people that have 0 to 9 CDs, okay? So it's not like all these people have 0 or all of these people have 2. We don't know. We just know that 4 people have anywhere from 0 to 9 CDs, okay? Same thing here. These people have 10 to 19 CDs, and that would be with 3. So 3 people have 10 to 19 CDs. Once again, they could have 10, they could have 19. There could be one person with 10, one person with 12, and then another person with 19. It's all spread out, but we just need to know how many.
Please excuse this interruption. I need Ms. Knapp to call to the front office.
We just know that that's how many people are in that area. This one right here, there's only one person that has 20 to 29 CDs. And then lastly, there are 2 people that have 30 to 39 CDs. So the number of people in each, so like 4, 3, 1, 2, that's called the frequency. And then these down here are called your intervals. So 0 to 9 is an interval, 10 to 19 is an interval. And you'll notice that the intervals are the same amount, okay? So it's not like you could go from like 0 to 15 here and then go, 16 to 20 here. They have to be the same amount in each interval. So let's look at another example. All right, so this looks like it is number of laps, completed in the swimming pool. So it looks like 11 people, because it's in between 10 and 12, 11 people did 1 to 3 laps. Okay, so my frequency is 11, my interval is 1 to 3. So for example, the reason that you might need to know the word interval is that the question might be, which interval has the highest frequency? Okay, so you would need to know that the answer is 1 to 3, because that's the bar that goes the highest, okay? 4 people swam 4 to 6 laps. Okay, once again, they could all have swam 4, they could all have swam 6, or they could have all swam something different, but it was all between 4 and 6 laps, okay? Nobody swam 7 to 9 laps, okay? That's why this bar is empty. Otherwise, you don't have any spaces in a histogram. You'll notice that all the bars are side by side. There's no spaces like there is at a bar graph. But if you see a space like this, it means that there's nobody in that interval. We keep going. 3 people swam 10 to 12 laps. And then lastly, 6 people swam 13 to 15 laps. Okay? So that's how you read a histogram. Let me see if I can find a couple types of questions you'll have for like on the EOG. So like real quick. Here's what I was going to show you. So looking at this one. So one of the questions says, which interval contains the fewest data values? Okay, so which interval, remember those are the things down here, contain the fewest data values? Hopefully you would say 4 to 5 because nobody is here. So this was to be the one with the fewest. Don't get confused here because yes, this bar is low, but this one doesn't have anybody in it, so that would be the fewest. The next question says, how many students are in the class? All right, that's another common question. All right, I don't know specifically how I don't know specifically how many magazines each person read, because remember, it's an interval, but I do know how many people there are. So like for this one right here, this is 2. This is 15, so 2 and 15 is 17, and then this bar goes up to 3. So this is 20 people. 20 people were graphed for this specific question. Okay, so all you would do is count up your bars. All right. Excuse me, I keep yawning, I'm sorry. Let me look at another one. Okay, here's another one. A common question, let me zoom in so you can really see it. A common question that you will see sometimes is, where is the median located? Okay, and that's kind of hard to do because, once again, you don't know the specific numbers. But it's not asking for a specific number, it's asking for like what interval it falls in. So what you would need to do is pick any number in this interval, okay? And so like, for example, anywhere from 1 to 4. It doesn't matter which one you pick. We can pick 2. So how many people was it? It was 10 people. So I'm going to write out 10 twos, and I'll show you my paper in just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I've listed out 10 twos. All right, my next bar goes up to 12. And once again, just pick any number in that interval. So any number between 5 and 8. So once again, I'm just going to pick 6, and there's 12 of them. So I'm going to write it out 12 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? So those 6s right there stand for all the people that are in this section right here. All right? 9 to 12, there's 8 of them. So once again, anything in this interval. So 9, there's 8 of them, I said. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I forgot there's only 8. Let me write that out, sorry. There's only 8 of them, so I don't need this one. All right, and then my last one, there's 6 in this section, or in this interval, so I need to pick any number in this interval, and there's 6 of them. So I'm just going to put 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've listed out all my numbers. Once again, I just picked a number within each interval, and now you can just start finding the median. Remember, when you find the median, you just start crossing off until you get to the middle. I'm not going to do this the whole time because it just takes too much time. But when you get to the middle, it's looking like it's probably going to be 6. So that tells me that my median has to fall in this interval right here because that's where a 6 falls. Okay? I hope that makes sense. We're going to do plenty of problems like that, but I hope that makes sense. So when you're doing a histogram, you can still find the median. Now, you can't find the mean because you don't know specific values. But like since this was just, an idea of where it would fall, I can do median. So you can do median with a histogram. So we're just going to spend some time practicing these types of problems, making sure you know how to read a histogram. If you have any questions, feel free to send me an email.